So I thought I would continue where I left off, which is basically to talk about my long term plans as a new collector and a young collector, and basically touch on things that I didn't in the previous video when it comes to comparing the Black Series to other lines and why I chose the Black Series in particular compared to those other lines. Um, so first about my long-term plans. Um I do believe that I will save a lot by choosing to spend money on basically around okay, fine. Yes, this is the low end version of 6-inch Star Wars action figures. I believe I am saving money by dedicating myself to these very mass produced products instead of going into um, the more high end ones. Which is good for me because, as I mentioned in the previous video several times, I don't have a job. So I really, really need to save. So, um, going back to the Black Series versus the TVC line, the 3.75 line, half this size, um, you can argue that there is a lot more variety. There's a lot more variety to be found in the TVC, a lot more characters, a lot more variants. Um, and For me, I always plan to keep my collection small. Small in terms of the standards of other collectors and not to like people who are not in the hobby, because my mom thinks I have a lot, but I actually don't have a lot. I have about 31 Black Series figures, which is just a very small portion of what's been released since the line came out in 2013, 14. Yeah, so I do intend to keep my collection small, so that amount of variety to be found in the 3.75 line, it's it's not enough of an incentive for me to shift, to make that shift. I could do without the variety since um part of keeping my collection small is having criteria. Like I don't just buy on a whim. I have criteria, personal criteria and criteria for the release itself. Um, for me to really ensure that I get um, the bang for my buck, which I covered in my last video as well. So, um, in line with that, uh, I chose the Black Series line instead of the releases of Mayfex and Figuarts because they're in the high end realm of 6-inch Star Wars figures. They have the reverse problem. There's not enough variety. They've made several stormtroopers and the occasional Dooku and Mace Windu, which, by the way, don't even look like the characters. The Hasbro releases are far more superior compared to the really funny face sculpts that they came out with. So, for like basically one third, one fourth, possibly even one fifth of the price that they're going for now, I'm very happy with the Hasbro releases compared to the what Figuarts and Mayfex. I'm not sure if Mayfex did. But compared to what Figuarts put out for those specific characters. So going back to what I said about the lack of variety, um, well, you can argue their articulation is superb, especially in the Red Line era of the Black Series. They were putting out stormtroopers that could actually move a lot compared to the really, really sad molds of the Black Series early on. But again, as many collectors will be aware of Hasbro has recently revamped the line, the Black Series line, with new molds for clone troopers, stormtroopers, main characters, not and new molds for sub characters like Ventress, Ahsoka. They're catching up to Figuarts and Mayfex level. So I'm very very happy with what I've been getting from Hasbro. Like um and they're basically the middle ground between articulation, sculpt, and variety. Where in TVC you have a lot of variety, but again other issues. In the high end realm, you have less variety but more articulation. The Black Series is really the balance. It's really the balance of everything from sculpt to articulation, accessories, everything. For me, this is the way to go. This is really where the bang of my buck lies. Now, in line with like Hot Toys, the 12-inch scale, um aside from the issues that I've tackled in my previous video where I said Hot Toys is too big, 12 inches is too big, um in the long term, maintaining Hot Toys figures is complicated. Not only is it complicated, it's also expensive. So, in line with buying a Hot Toys figure, if you don't take care of it properly, like you store it in the wrong areas, like things like leather will flake, dyes from clothings will stain the skin of the figure, um, and other issues that I've seen because I've watched people with Hot Toys collections talk about their thing. So for me, it's like I'm going to spend a lot more exponentially compared to this Black Series line for a high end figure that if I don't take care of it or if it falls, will break, will flake, will stain in just like a period of maybe even 5 years. 5 years, I've seen clothing that has begun to flake on Hot Toys based on the content creators on YouTube. And for me, that's additional expense to maintain figures like that, to take care of them, the continuous process of preserving them and making sure that they are taken care of. For me, that continuous process will really, 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 really break the bank. It will break the bank. I hope I'm using that term correctly. Please don't attack me if I'm not. But what I meant by that is it will really drain the wallet of collectors in that scale. And again, me, I am just a college student with no salary yet. So there's no way I could possibly spend for Hot Toys. Okay, maybe I could get one. Maybe I'll get one, but like out of that one, I could probably get like 10 more Black Series characters. So it's like, you know, that sort of thing. The same thing with the high end 6-inch, the Mayfex and Figure Arts line. For every one I get of that on the aftermarket, if you don't pre order, I could get like about five more Black Series characters. That's the worth of it. Um, Now, before I end, this is not to shade other lines. Um, I I respect collectors who collect in those lines, in those scales. I have no problem with that. In fact, I actually admire you guys for being able to spend that much and really take care of your collection. But me, uh, I don't have that capability. I don't have that gusto. Um, this is just something that I created, hopefully to put more content on this out there and to possibly help other collectors. So if I said anything wrong, I'm sorry. I'm new and I'm not used to really speaking in front of or behind cameras. Thanks for watching.